far, so good.
We need some help. Let's go check in with Christina to set us up for today's feature race. Christina?
Thanks. I'm here with Mike Mitchell. He's sending out Symphony Sid, and your owner makes a good point. I haven't seen you so dressed up in quite a while. Is this a big one for you?
Well, I just got it out of the cleaners, you know. But it's a big race. It's a big race for this horse because he is a stud horse with a really nice pedigree. If he could get a race like this under his belt, it'd make him worth a little money as a stallion, you know. But I've trained him. He just seems like he'd love 2 miles. I don't know. It's just this horse. You can just train him and train him and train him, and the more you do, the more he likes it. I think he'll love the distance, and there's nobody to really chase us. Mm-hmm. I think people will see that 3/4 and 8 and change, and they're just going to want to stay away from him, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Now, I saw you speaking to Michael Baze before the race. You look pretty intense. What were you telling him?
Well, Mike's never been on him, you know, and I didn't want him to be fooled because in his last race I told Aaron, let him roll. Just let him go. Let's try to steal the race. Do not finesse him. Do not try to take a hold of him, you know. And so Aaron rode the horse just the way I told him to, and I didn't want him to think that he has that kind of speed unless you really ask him, see. And I think Michael's comfortable, and I think he'll do the right thing.
So you still want to be on the front end, but you'd rather he's tried to control him a little bit more?
Well, I still think crossing the wire at the first time, I'm going to be 5 in front, and down the backside I might be 10 in front.
Or the Baze style?
Yeah, exactly. Without them really asking him, and I just wanted him to know that if you really ask him, then he'll go, and I don't think you're going to have to do it going 1.5 miles.
Okay, good luck today. Mike Mitchell with Symphony Sid.
I loved all the information. That was my single in the pick 4 today. Still think he's going to do damage here at 6-1. So post parade continues, and look who's here.
$2.6 million earner, Seraphan, 9 years old, been off since April, but always a threat when he comes to the racetrack. 8-1.
As Labyrinto the 3 at 8-1, acting up a little bit. It looks okay now. Don't you remember, this is the horse that caused a long delay in the Hollywood Turf Cup back in November of 03.
What? I think Ken was reporting that day because he wanted to know about the trainer and he wanted to go talk to him, and then the horse was 3-1 in the Hollywood Gold Cup when he flipped that day.
Right, he was. And more importantly, he was second in this race back in 03 as well, behind Runaway Dancer, who he faces in here again today. He's had a tendon injury, second start off the left. There's the 4, Conal Kernach with Jose Valdivia, coming off a second-place finish last time out.
Who's the 4 again? Can I just hear it one more time?
Conal Kernach.
Thank you. The 5, Runaway Dancer, has been off since August 27th. The last time we saw and heard from him, it was an all-access day at Del Mar, and you may remember it when we refresh your memory. But anyway, he had a horrible trip that day. Look for a rebound today.
Beep, 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 oh, that's the Victor Espinoza Morse code.
You beep.
Yeah, exactly.
The 6 Artis Royale, yeah. After Aqua released a $1.3 million earner, shows who love this distance, I think is the class of the race.
Scratch the 7, Don and Cotto. On the subject of trainer Mike Mitchell, you heard his comments about the 8, Symphony Sid. He has a little formula he likes to use, and it's worked successfully as he's won the Del Mar Handicap twice down at Del Mar, a similar marathon race on the grass. He likes to get lightweight in these marathon turf races and a horse with speed. He has that with Symphony Sid. You get Michael Baze checking in at 110 here. This horse is going to tack up, and clearly this is the speed of the field. I'm real worried about this horse going the whole way.
Yeah, I agree with you. A la Leprechaun Kid. He applied that formula to Leprechaun Kid a couple of years back. Oh, by the way, the 8, why he's still a horse? Mike Mitchell mentioned he's an entire horse still. He's a half to high cotton.
Nice.
So they're going to get some money for breeding.
If they can
that's
get
why he
some
wants
stakes.
to get this grade 3 victory for this horse and boost that fee just a little bit. But let's go back to Runaway Dancer. And we spoke about the last time we saw Runaway Dancer was the grade 2 Del Mar Handicap, and it was not good out of the gate early.
Yeah, I mean, he was totally eliminated. The comment is shut off, took up early, and 2 horses came in. And you know, one thing, they start pretty close into the far turn at Del Mar in these marathon turf races, so your race really can get a little dicey there into that first turn. And right out of the start, Runaway Dancer had little opportunity.
He certainly did, and that wasn't, I mean, our All Access covered the show that day with Victor Espinosa Mike Tap. That wasn't the incident that caused him to, get bleeped out there. It was actually, he had more trouble around the first turn, the clubhouse turn, where he nearly went down to his heels there. So I think a legitimate excuse last time out. He's looking to get back on a winning track. His one win over this track, don't forget, was this race 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Guys, I hate to render that point moot, but my question may just do that.
Go ahead.
Going a mile and a half,
right.
does it really matter what happens out of the gate? You're not going anywhere.
But
It's a
here's the
turf
thing.
race.
He got slammed that day, and you never know. I mean, it really is the equivalent of you're getting punched in the gut, and then you have to go run a mile and a half, or getting knocked in the head, and you have to go run a mile and a half. There's so much more than the loss of ground that takes place. I mean, when these half-ton thoroughbreds are banging into each other, there are some physical consequences as well.
Don't forget, they've got metal shoes on. They can get scraped up, banged up. A lot of things can happen, even though you can't see it sitting from the stands.
Other contenders in here to look for, probably the first and foremost would be the favorite, Artiste Royale. At 3-5 right now. Last time out, Patrick Valenzuela was in the irons in the Clement L. Hirsch, a Grade 1 event right here on September the 30th. In the mix all the way around, and this was the day where the 10-man got a little winded in the stretch.
He did get winded, and it was announced today, by the way, as a subplot here, that the 10-man late-breaking news not going to the Breeders' Cup turf because of this performance. He didn't train well. Dick Mandela was happy with the win. He didn't like the performance. Wasn't a dominating win. Not training well since he won't go. But the flip side of that, TH Approval was second, and Artiste Royale was third. So I know they're running behind a subpar 10-man. I think even a race like that is good enough to get it done in here.
And there's a good look at the 6. Your 3-5 favorite, the P-Val in the irons. As they get set, still 4 minutes to post the feature race today, and at this particular point, our two analysts disagree. They go with the 5 and the 6. In fact, all three of us kind of disagree. I go with the 8 on the outside, Symphony Sid.
I would not knock you for that pick.
No.
I'm just saying, Simon's going out on a limb at 3-5, and I totally say that with as much sarcasm and facetiousness as I possibly can. At least you're being a man and taking a stand and going, I'm taking a 6-1 shot who's got a big shot. Symphony Sid would hurt me because I can see this coming. I can see this horse getting loose on the lead and going gate to wire. I admire your pick. Simon Bray, 3-5 says it all.
Right.
Yeah. But you can also see that it appears as though Symphony Sid has a habit of stopping, because he has had the lead in his last 4 starts, but did not carry on that speed.
But let's go what Mike Mitchell said. If his opponents are looking in the past performances and they see the 6 furlong split from his last race, 108 going a mile and 1/8, they're going to think this is a crazy runoff horse. Stay away from him. I mean, that split was 5 seconds faster than the 6 furlong split in Artiste Royale's last race. This horse got serious speed, and it may not be an exaggeration. He'll be 10 up on the field on the backside.
And if he does get way out there, hopefully someone will go with him to challenge and set it up for a price on a horse that has some serious back class. I'm talking about Labyrinto, the 3 at 7-1, who actually has run in this race before, guys. Let's go back almost 3 years ago. October 24th, 2003. Look who's here. Labyrinto and Runaway Dancer dueling in the stretch for the Grade 3 Burke Handicap.
Can he get through? Labyrinto on the outside in with a shot as well. Researched, and Runaway Dancer from last on the grandstand side. Runaway Dancer extreme outside, coming like a rocket. On the inside, Labyrinto and Senor Swinger. They come to the wire. Runaway Dancer, powerful finish.
Okay, this was Lenny Powell's debut in the training ranks that day. This was one of his first starters, if not his first, and put up a good effort that day. You remember the horrendous time what he went through in the Hollywood Turf Cup. We had a camera on him at TVG. Poor guy, second run he'd ever had. He delays a Grade 1 race by 20 minutes, loses the jock, horse is running loose. Unfortunately, since then, the horse has only run 4 more times.
By the
he
way,
had a severe tendon injury.
So we interviewed him that day. Do you think that's maybe why he turned us down today?
Yeah, I think so.
Bad things happen when TVG shows up for an interview. But more importantly, with Labyrinto, he was 3-1 in that Hollywood Turf Cup. Off that effort in the Carleton Burke, he was expected to win a Grade 1 race. Now he's had almost 2 years off, from 2004 to 2006. I mean, what do you make of him today? We know he was capable at one time.
Well, I spoke to Lenny Powell yesterday before the Fox show yesterday, before our FSM Prime viewers could hear the interview. He had a horse in yesterday. I asked him about Labyrinto. He said, you know what, the horse came out so well out of his last race, August 27th at Del Mar. He wanted to run him back. He had to go back to the barn, sit down, just relax a second. This horse has been off a year. Why do I need to run him back? He goes, I gave him the time. He's had 6 weeks since his last race. He's training very, very well indeed, according to Lenny. He's going to sit back and make one run. But there's always a question mark with horses have that soft tissue injuries. It's been well publicized. He had a tendon injury. He was in my barn for a long time when I was training. I used to see him walking and walking and walking on his rehab, and that was 3 years ago. So if he holds up well, he's in with a chance. There's no question about it.
Interesting that Leonard Powell would refuse the pre-race interview, because normally the pre-race interview superstition goes out of the window when Christina Oliveras requests a minute of your time.
I have to,
you know what it was, though, Ken? I think he was frightened the horse climbing up the walls of the grandstand
Could
again.
be too.
Yeah,
but I think Ken's point is the most important. No one refuses Christina Oliveras any request that she makes.
The best thing about her is she seems all nice and dainty, but she's got serious power behind her. So if you do refuse, all of a sudden your tires are flat in the parking lot. You've got a brick through your windshield. It's amazing how that works out. And
Now
she
that
knows
I
nothing
didn't know.
about it.
That I didn't know.
And she's got an alibi for everything. There is the old school player at 9 years of age, Seraphan. He does not win a lot of races, but he does make a lot of money, more than $2.6 million in 51 career starts.
That's what's amazing about this field. Labyrinto, the 3 there, if this were 2003 or even 2004, certainly wouldn't be 7-1 to win this race. Seraphan, if this were 2004, he'd probably be the favorite to win this race.
Yeah, he's a 9-year-old gelding. Labyrinto, an 8-year-old gelding. Runaway Dancer, a 7-year-old gelding. So, these old veterans here still making it through the ranks. And there's Labyrinto stuck there looking
actually going the wrong way.
Yeah, but he's parked in reverse. I don't think he wants to look at the gate while Seraphan's acting up.
So they're going to back him around and then surprise him. Look, you're at the front of the gate now. And bring him right on in easily.
Was Seraphan a horse that used to have to blindfold on occasion?
Yeah, he was. He's a very, very
saw him
unpredictable horse. In the
kicking.
morning,
He kicked with both back legs.
In the morning, it was unbelievable to watch him train at Hollywood Park with the exercise. I mean, it was a freak show every single day. It's like, hey, Seraphan's on the track. Let's go and watch what happens.
Get some popcorn.
Yeah.
But you know what? He has the best trainer for a horse like that, because Neil Drysdale, very patient. He always gets him ready to go. Trevor Denman's got the call. Good luck and enjoy the feature.
Fields sent on their 1.5 mile journey. They all began smoothly. On the far side, we have Koenak going on to lead them, but now there goes Symphony Sid. And Symphony Sid wants the lead, and he spurts away. Now Symphony Sid opening up on them early. Here comes Artiste Royal to get up and race in second in the early stages, but that leader's really getting away 9-10 lengths now. Then we come back to Conal Sianak, just in behind Conal Sianak is Mighty Mysterious, Seraphan towards the rear, and Labyrinto is last early. Top of the stretch first time round, and Symphony Sid. He's running a little wide into the stretch, but he's so far in front, he's got to be a good 12 lengths clear as they come through the stretch. Artiste Royal is racing in the second spot. Then it's Runaway Dancer. Racing in behind that comes Seraphan. Along the inside is Conal Koenak, the grey down at the rail, being followed then by Mighty Mysterious, and still Labyrinto last. Under the wire with 1 lap to go, and Symphony Sid. He slowed them down now. He's just cantering along, but he's still a good 12-13 lengths in front. Artiste Royal is following in second. Then it's Runaway Dancer. Behind that, Conal Sianak, Seraphan. And then we come back to Labyrinto and Mighty Mysterious. Half the journey covered now, and it's still all Symphony Sid. He's actually loving it out here. He's got his ears pricked. He's taking everything in and just loping along now. And he's still got to be a good 10-11 lengths clear. Now it's Artiste Royal starting to close, and Artiste Royal set sail on that leader now, and he's going after him stride for stride. It's 6 lengths back to Runaway Dancer, Seraphan, then Conal Sianak, and still back to Labyrinto and Mighty Mysterious. They have a half mile to go in the Carleton F Burke now. And it is still Symphony Sid clear by a big 9 lengths as he lasers his way into the turn here. In second is Artiste Royal, then Seraphan. In behind that, Runaway Dancer, Conal Sianak, Labyrinto and Mighty Mysterious. Come into the top of the lane now, and it's Symphony Sid. Now he's starting to slow down a little, and here comes Artiste Royal now. Symphony Sid, now suddenly he's weary on the lead, but I tell you what, only Artiste Royal can get him. The rest of them are far back. Runaway Dancer third, and 8th to go. Symphony Sid keeps on going. Artiste Royal chasing him home, but Symphony Sid just awesome this afternoon. And Symphony Sid and Michael Baze turn this into a procession. They win it easy. Artiste Royal second, Runaway Dancer third, and Mighty Mysterious finishes fourth.
You heard Mike Mitchell say that this horse, Symphony Sid, wants to run all day. He might want to go 2 miles. All Michael Baze had to do was get this horse to take a breather. He got a breather and ran them off their feet, going 1.5 miles in today's Grade 3 Carleton F Burke at 5-1.
All right, get the graphic ready. By the way, I don't think the owners even realize it. He just set a stakes record for the Burke, 224.18. The previous held 224.24, going all the way back to 1996 in Denier Impure. This is exactly what Mike Mitchell said. I'll be up by 10 on the backstretch, and don't be surprised if we go the rest of the way.
And plan came together exactly how he drew it up. The in-house clock said 49 for the half mile. Disregard that. That wasn't the case. They went much quicker than that, but Mike Baze did a great job. He actually got this horse to relax a little bit, I think, down the backside. We were watching the head-on feed in-house here. He kind of sat back, took a hold, and took a peek back. Turning for home, P-Val in the perfect spot with Artiste Royale if he was good enough to close in on the leader. But Symphony Sid, a heady ride by Michael Baze, and that combination of going long, getting the weight, and putting a horse on the lead for Mike Mitchell. You talked about it, Todd. It works again here with Symphony Sid.
Symphony Sid gets his first victory in 2006, and it comes in his 7th start this year. And you can see that Michael Baze knows when they finally turn for home, Patrick Valenzuela is breathing down his throat, believe it or not, from about 10 lengths back with Artiste Royale, who was making a move, but then Symphony Sid actually did kick into gear in the stretch and continue to draw away from the field. It doesn't seem like there was ever a threat, but you have to think anytime a horse is that far ahead turning for home, they're going to collapse.
Well, I mean, but the other thing is, what does it do to the rest of the field? I mean, everyone's it's got to take you out of your game a little bit. You're thinking, well, he's got to be going fast, but then they put up kind of an easy half mile. I mean, it really changes everyone else and maybe their approach in the race too.
That's right. I definitely think the other members of this field thought this horse was going to come back. And after his last race, even if it was a 46 and 4 half mile, it was jogging for Symphony Sid.
And let's not forget, it's a stakes record, so no matter what he was doing today, he was the best horse.
Exactly, and there's nothing the rest of the field could do. That's how dangerous lone speed is on the turf. You want to go a mile and a half, it's even more dangerous. You're not going to catch him, but we'll catch up to the Happy Connections and your winner right after the break as we continue with Trackside Live.
If you're in the horse business, you need to know what equineline.com can do for you. Owner, take advantage of our unique portfolio service. Breeder, access international pedigrees, race records, and more. Farm, maintain your records online. Trainer, put our trainer management program to work for you. Visit equineline.com today. equineline.com.
You don't have to go this far to bring home the action of the Breeders' Cup World Championships. Bet the Breeders' Cup from home. Go to TVG.com or call 1-888-PLAY-TVG to sign up now. Get free live video streaming, free wagering services, free race replays, and 5,000 wager rewards points. Bring home the action.
Come on, baby, bring it home!
Go to TVG.com or call 1-888-PLAY-TVG.
It's television's most prestigious fishing tournament, FLW Outdoors.
Look at the bend in that rod.
The ultimate weekly challenge in competitive fishing.
Woo! Huge fish.
Follow the world's top anglers as they go head-to-head in a race to hook the day's most elusive catch. And battle it out for the right to be crowned world champion. FLW Outdoors, Sundays on FSN.
Racing returns to Hollywood Park on November 1st, at which time races will be conducted on Hollywood's new Safer Racing Surface. In the allocation of 2007 racing dates, the health and safety of both the horses and the professionals who ride and care for them should not be compromised. Monetary gain should not trump the safety and well-being of racing's athletes, both equine and human. Safety should always come first. This ad paid for by Hollywood Park.
It's all about the Bazes today. Tyler Baze with 3 winners, and now Michael Baze following in Tyler's footsteps, because Tyler Baze is usually the kind of guy that does this for Mike Mitchell. He's done it back in the past with Leprechaun Kid and
the Del Mar Handicap.
Over the Bay.
That's the other part to Mike Mitchell's habit. Get a Baze.
Get a
member
Baze.
of the Baze family.
That's right. And Tyler was back. You remember the first All Access show when he went through that slump? Yep. This was his first win back on Leprechaun Kid. Michael Baze, this might be his first graded stakes win. We'll check on that. $12.80 is the price here. Mike Mitchell, Bongo Racing Stable, Tighten Up Racing Stable. Whoever it is, there's a whole host of them in there having a good time in the winner's circle. Congratulations. What about the pick 3, Todd? $1,400.
$95. And remember, this was preceded by a pick 3 that paid $4,100. The daily double returns $567. Bottom line is there's a lot going on the line here in the last race. Huge pick 5s, huge pick 4s, and the real possibility of a large pick 6 carryover into tomorrow.
And the thing about this 10th and final race, if you find yourself alive, even if you've got 5, 6, 7 horses, you're still sweating it. Because this 10th race is going to be crazy, just like we expected the entire day to be, and it's followed.
You know, I like to circle horses. I circled 11 of them in this last race.
Yeah, I try to be economical, and I still circled 5 of them. Because that's a lot for me. But right now, some folks are going to be circling this date and this race on their calendars as one to remember. They're standing by with Christina right now.
That's right, here with some very excited owners, the owners of Bongo Racing Stable, and here Symphony Sid takes the Carleton F Burke. We'll start with you first, Bob Feld. Did you expect this race from him?
We actually did. Mike said that all week long he's been training awesome. I mean, if you look at his fractions, he threw down at Del Mar in his fractions last year, went 108, and he then re-rallied and passed that horse after the wire last time. He's a quality horse, and we thought if he could just get him to relax a little bit. And when they threw that 49 up on the board, he was galloping. He didn't even know he was in a race, I don't think. He was just cruising right along, so we weren't surprised.
Now, for you guys, we were watching you up in the stands. Is this sort of your biggest win so far, or what's going on here?
Indeed. Our first win so far, since we got the group together.
Keyword so far.
So far, indeed.
He gave me the wink
Christina.
he took off, and that was it. I knew that was going to be the winner.
He gave you the wink. Did he give anyone else any signs?
I got the wink, too. Yes, sir.
From the ladies or from the horse?
Or from Sid, of course.
Did you guys know that you set a stakes record with this horse?
We heard that on the way down. And we heard that on the way down. Didn't know.
We want to let the world know we have a stallion prospect. If anyone's interested, just contact me, all right?
You're going to put it all back in?
Yeah. He's a half-brother High Cotton, and he's a grade 3 winner. He's fairish bred him, and he's by Bridal of AP Indy mare, so we got a stallion going.
All right, now, where are the tickets? I know you all bet on him.
You don't want to see him.
And I understand you guys have some big plans tonight. A little bird told me. Where are you guys going?
We might be going to Coy down in Hollywood for a little dinner, and then we'll figure it out from there.
And then?
We'll call you.
I heard you're going to the Playboy Mansion. Don't lie to me, Casey Mitchell.
Hey, they get that secret from Bongo, though. You didn't tell me that. What happened there?
Well, congratulations to all of you guys. Have a great night. Symphony Sid gets a stakes win here, and they are very excited, guys.
Hey, Christina, to the victor goes the spoils, so no better way to spoil yourself than going to the Playboy Mansion. If you can get in, you got to go. Whether you're married or not, if you can get in, you have to go.
You got to be happy for a partnership like this. This is not a partnership that's throwing all kinds of huge prices out there. They're trying to do it the hard way. They achieved that goal today. As a matter of fact, the Daily Racing Forum, which we get our past performances in, they have a classified section at the back, and you and I are familiar with the Bongo Racing
every day
ad.
it's there.
It's there every day, and it gives an update to everyone how their stable is doing. I can't imagine what the next ad is going to be like for them.
Yeah, I know. From Oak Tree Winner's Circle to the Bunny House.
And it's a great endorsement for racing when you can see what a syndicate can do for you.
Right.
You get
An
a lot of your
affordable
friends
one. Yeah.
together.
Right.
You don't have to give up a lot of money at all, but the time that you're able to have, the fun, the excitement, and maybe some money, one on the other side, is priceless.
Yeah,
Ken, they claim this horse for $50,000. They get 60 here for the win purse of it. They've had a couple of starts in between. They're second place, so they've got their money back. But more than that, it's just the fun. The money doesn't matter. As long as you cover your bills, there or thereabouts. You saw a bunch of young guys in the winner's circle having a great amount of fun.
And you couldn't use that $60,000 to buy your way into the Playboy Mansion.
That's right.
But when you've got a winning horse, they invite you to
Hey,
come
knock
out.
on the door. I just won the feature race at Santa Anita. Oh, come
on
on in.
Hugh Hefner understands that. He had a horse named after him in the Breeders' Cup.
On the subject of money, my friends, there's a lot at stake. We mentioned with the pick 6, if you're 5 for 5, what an incredible job of handicapping, but that's hard to imagine right now.
Unbelievable. Look at the payoffs there. Notional was a huge upset, I thought, at 25.40. I don't think that price really reflects how big of an upset that horse was in there. I think that stands to be a much bigger. I don't think many people had that. Grey Misty, of course, giving Keith Craigmile his first win on the
That's the
as a
one that
trainer.
knocks everyone out.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
looking at the connections of Notional, it's Doug O'Neill for J. Paul Redham. So there are some people out there with that first-time starter and the amount of money they paid for this horse, 6 figures, they're going to just throw that horse in automatically.
Right.
Just because they don't want Doug O'Neill to be the one to knock him out of the pick 6. Some folks can live with Keith Craigmile being the one to knock him out because you're like, oh, well, he hadn't won a race all year.
I'm not one of those guys.
No, you're not. You're the kind of guy that circles 8 out of the 10 horses in the field. But Mr. B's the kind of guy that singles horses. Mr. B, what'd you think of Symphony Sid in that race?
Oh, I thought it was terrific, Kenny. What just showed the beauty of this game. You know, there was a horse claim not too long ago for $50,000. It's gone on to do some pretty exciting things, so we'll see what happens with Symphony Sid. I know a lot of those people that were in the winner's circle, and congratulations to Bob Feld and the group. We're up at Bay Meadows now. As you can see, we're getting close to their 9th race. Coming up here on the board, this was a claiming event, $4,000 purse, and they were going a mile over the fast main track. The field intact here, just a 6-horse field at that. And the outside horse was the even money favorite at post time. That was Dino's Cruisin' Gal. And it looks like the 6